What's up, YouTubers, subscribers? Quick video update of the K24 Civic. As some of you guys may know, I am OEM Works and pretty much building my car to somewhat OEM spec, kind of as far as looks, and trying to use as much of the OEM parts as possible. So for all the new followers and subscribers, I'll just go over a quick overview of the whole car and what I've done to it. Some of you guys may already know. I do get a lot of questions on some of the parts that I use and why I use them. So appreciate all you guys, and let's keep gunning. So just real quick, guys, we'll go over what's under the engine bay, or may I say under the hood and in the engine bay. So we have a Japanese K24A, equivalent to a TSX Type S engine. So bought the engine from a shop with low miles. All I did to the K24 was add the valve cover, and just to give it a different look, we did go with a RRC intake manifold. This particular manifold is actually equivalent to a ported RBC, and it's a factory part. So that's one of the parts that I really like. Another thing that we did to this one is we went with the RDX injectors. Again, keeping it factory. Also went with the Honda Accord throttle body, which a lot of guys don't know that works and bolts right up to the RBC. Again, factory part. We do have a K20 Z3 Lsd transmission. I went with this transmission because it does come with the factory LSD, and all I did was convert the shift selector and the speed sensor. Let me see if I can show you guys. You guys get the point. Speed sensor down there. It was converted because the Z3 does have the speed sensor up here. So to get it to work with the engine harness and the computer, it's one of the things you have to do to bypass the speed converter from K-tuned. Another thing I did was use the factory radiator from a 2009 Civic Si. One of the reasons why I like this particular radiator, it makes it real easy to bleed the system because you're able to elevate the filler neck above the actual hose here. So it makes it real simple to burp the system using the factory radiator. Now another thing I did was went ahead and used the Crx Overflow Tank. I think it makes it look kind of neat, especially because it's kind of shaped like a triangle, so it fits in this corner real nice and neat. I had a bunch of questions on this little thing too, so out of a CRX. And then on the K24 Japanese model, you do have to switch out the water pump housing. So all I did was got a complete K20 Z3 water pump housing, including the pulley, alternator, and bolts right up. All you have to do is get a 52-inch belt. Had a lot of questions on my belt too. Also, one thing I forgot to mention on the radiator is this factory radiator comes with your fan switch. I'm not sure if I'll be able to show you guys all the way down in there, but at the bottom, the fan switch is already in the stock location. So all you have to do is plug that right in. You don't need any extra adapters or anything like that. We did go with a hybrid cold air intake, and then I did a slight modification. All I did was put a 90 to create the velocity stack coming out of the fog light. Hybrid does include the velocity stack, but it's not gonna work the way it should because factory, the way they design their intake, it sits inside of the bumper. So this is just something I did. And then I do put this intake on when I park the car just to keep debris from going in there. I do have a TurboGuard filter coming on the way. waiting for it in the mail, and it goes right over the velocity stack, and it'll protect it once I'm out driving it, like if I take it for a test drive on the street or whatever the case may be. But as far as the engine bay, that's pretty much it. I did create and design my own fuel system. I used a AEM fuel pressure regulator, inline fuel filter, used the stock fuel rail with a compression fitting, and then that's pretty much it. My vacuum hose for the brake booster, all I did was use some spare line to kind of make it match the fuel line, and I used some holders and just ran it like that. Kind of keeps it nice and tucked, doesn't make it too visual right in here, and it kind of cleans it up a little bit. What else? We did go with the Skunk 2 Alpha header. Real nice header, especially for the K24 and an EK, because the K24 sits up so high. That Alpha header dips down lower because all 4 runners are running side by side. Unlike other runners, they 2 at the bottom and then 2 right over those. So it creates a little bit of more clearance. Got ourselves a brand new Honda battery, just so we make sure that we always have the right current. I hate using used batteries that go out. Stock GSR or Civic SI strut bar. And one more thing, Yanaka Axles. Great starter axle for like a stock swap like this. It holds up great. I used the axle several times on different type of cars, different setups, different transmissions, all motor, nitrous. We haven't tried them on a turbo car, but it would be nice to try them just to see how long or how much they can actually hold up. But so far, I've never had a problem with the Yanaka axle. Real good axle. And the last thing in the engine bay is our Nitrous Solenoid. We do have this K24 on 100 shot of nitrous. In the interior, just kind of basic. All I did was take out the interior. Literally just took out all the panels, all the carpet, and we also did the sound deadening, removed all of that stuff. Reduced about 40 pounds just by removing the sound deadening, so it saves you some weight. We went ahead and got a Crx seat just to reduce even more weight. We do have the car on a stock Type R ECU, so right now it's just kind of running like a factory setup. Here the car's not even tuned yet. We did add a SIR steering wheel, SIR gauge cluster. We did an interior strut bar just to kind of hold it back a little bit, and that's pretty much it. We kept our door panels just to kind of keep the car looking a little bit good when you're out on the street. We did go with the SIR folding mirrors. As far as suspension, we do have full Skunk 2 suspension, and works great. Suspension, I really like it. Has camber kit front and back. Recently we just put the stock SI wheels on the car just to reduce weight from the stock Steelies. Added some Toyo R888s, and they work quite lovely. And then for those new guys too, also I'll show you real fast. This is where we keep our nitrous bottle, under the dashboard. I'm not sure if you guys can see it very well in there, kind of dark. And then for shifter, we just use a stock Type S shifter box, stock Type S shifter cables with a stock GSR shift knob. By far one of my favorite shift knobs that Honda has ever created. It is weighted, It has a slight bend. It's leather wrapped and it feels perfect in the hand. So yeah, I just wanted to show you guys that small detail. Also, we do have leg stand windows. We have the scratch resistant. You guys can see right there, YNS. Real high quality windows. They fit almost like factory, as you guys can see right there with the stock molding. And just even looks factory. Most guys don't even know that I have leg stand windows just because of the way it looks. These are the rear here. So I only have the 3/4 panel windows, the 2 quarters, and then the rear. Eventually we are gonna do the door windows because these windows are pretty heavy. They're like 20 pounds each. So we can reduce like 40 pounds. So what I'm gonna be doing to the car today is we're gonna be reducing some more weight. We're gonna cut the skeleton out of the trunk. So we did do a poll on Instagram and we were gonna go with carbon fiber trunk and hood. But I did the math and the math isn't adding up for what we're doing with the car. So for the trunk and hood is gonna cost me about 2 grand, give take on the carbon fiber pieces. So what I'm thinking is, after doing the math, I think we should rather take that $2,000 and put it under the engine bay and go with like a turbo kit. I don't think a carbon fiber hood and trunk is gonna make the car that much faster. It's more looks, if anything. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is just take the same money and then we're gonna put a Snell right here, hopefully. Right in here, our Snell will sit. So stay tuned, guys. That's gonna be coming up on the build. I will show you guys how I'm gonna cut the skeleton out of the trunk, and then we're gonna cut the rest of the skeleton under the hood, and then we'll weigh that and then see how much weight we reduced and go from there. So comment, subscribe, and I will keep you guys updated on the weight reduction we're gonna be doing.